All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about a really interesting spiritual process that's all about breaking those negative patterns, the ones that can really hold you back in life. We're going to look at why these patterns even exist and how one particular practice says we can dissolve them for good.
You know that feeling, right? It's like you're hitting the same wall over and over and over again. Maybe it's in your relationships, maybe it's at work, or maybe it's just inside your own head. You know you want to change, you're trying so hard to change, but somehow you always end up right back where you started. And this quote, wow, it just captures that moment perfectly, doesn't it? It's that feeling right after, that frustration and confusion, and honestly, a lot of self-blame, where you look back at what you just did, and you just can't understand why you let yourself get pulled into that same old behavior again.
So that feeling, it's not just in your head. It actually has a name, and there's a structure to it. Let's dig into what the source material calls the loop of self-sabotage.
Okay, now here's what's so important about this. Notice the emphasis on the word body. A trauma loop isn't just a bad thought you have. It's described as a triggered physical response that happens so fast, it just completely bypasses your conscious mind. Something happens, and before you even have a chance to think, you're already halfway down that road you swore you'd never take again.
So this is the engine that keeps that stuck feeling running. These loops are what push us into doing things that are totally out of line with what we actually want for ourselves. And the result? It's always that same cycle of frustration and anger that we just turn right back on ourselves.
So if we know this is happening, why can't we just, stop? According to the source, the answer is in this kind of conflict between two totally different voices we have inside. Let's look at how they kind of work against each other to build this trap.
So it's like there's this internal tug-of-war going on. On one side, you've got your intellectual process. This is the part of you that loves to think and analyze and try to solve the problem. But it usually just ends up thinking in circles, which actually makes the pattern even stronger. But then, on the other side, you've got the intuitive process. And this isn't about thinking harder, it's about feeling. It's a kind of body-centered awareness that can actually sense the path out of the loop.
And this, right here, gets the absolute heart of it all. Your intentions are great. The problem is you might be using the wrong tool for the job. Trying to solve a deep, body-level problem with that same analytical mind that helps create the loop, well, it's kind of like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. You just can't think your way out of a loop that you thought yourself into.
So this brings us to the actual solution that's presented in the source material. It's a method specifically designed to bypass that overthinking intellectual process and tap directly into the intuitive one.
Okay, so at its core, angelic healing is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a practice where you invite in some divine help. The idea is that these beings can help clear out all that energetic gunk, the trauma, the imbalances, without our own ego or judgment getting in the way.
And while that's a great foundation for general healing, the source material points to something way more focused, something built specifically for these incredibly stubborn, repetitive patterns we've been talking about.
And there it is, the universal angelic process. So this is presented as more than just general healing. It's like a targeted spiritual intervention meant to get right to the very root of these trauma loops.
I just love this quote from the source because it's so direct, It gets the point across immediately. This is not some gentle, passive thing. It's described as an incredibly powerful, direct application of energy, aimed squarely at the parts of us that feel the most hopelessly stuck. So what does a process this powerful actually do? Let's take a look at the outcomes it's supposed to create, because it goes way beyond just stopping a bad habit.
You can see how these outcomes really build on each other. It starts at the very root, right? By calming those physical trauma loops and healing the triggers. Once that foundation is more stable, it can start to chip away at those bigger, lifelong karmic patterns, which really are just the same trauma loops playing out on a much bigger stage. And when that happens, it clears out all the noise, which lets your own intuition come through stronger, and that deepens your whole spiritual path.
And just to show you how specific this is, the process isn't just some vague intention. It involves directing 51 distinct angelic energies, and each one has its own specific job to do. 51? That's a pretty incredible level of detail.
Now, here is where it gets really, really interesting. This is a complete reframing of karma. It's not some cosmic scorecard of good deeds versus bad deeds. In this way of looking at it, karma is the direct result of your patterns of thought. That repetitive, intellectual, loopy thinking, that creates one kind of karma. But that intuitive, body-centered thinking, that creates a completely different kind.
And that's the double whammy here. You're not just clearing out old baggage from the past. By learning and engaging in this new intuitive way of thinking, you are actively creating a healthier, more positive karmic path for your future. It's like doing a cleanup and starting a brand new construction project at the exact same time. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. At the end of the day, this process isn't really about angels doing something to you. It's about them helping you make a fundamental shift in how you operate from the inside out.
And it all comes down to this simple 3-step shift. The first step, feel, is all about getting your attention out of your head and into your body, which is where the trigger is actually happening. The second step, observe, is the critical pause. Instead of just reacting, you become a neutral witness. No judgment, and that part is key. And only from that calm, observant place can you do the third step, generate a new choice. One that isn't just the same old programming.
Ultimately, that's the real goal here. You can think of it like spiritual neuroplasticity. You're not just fighting an old habit. You are actively building new pathways in your brain by using your intuitive awareness. You're literally building a new way to operate from a different part of yourself, creating a new reality that isn't haunted by the ghosts of the old programming.
And that really leaves us with one last powerful question to think about. If you had a tool like this, something this potent, a way to truly break free from the patterns that hold you back, what's the first loop you would choose to break?